Dear sir or madam, will you take a look? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? I want to be a paperback writer. And I love paperback writers and writers. Welcome to Uncle Tom's Cabin. Good to see you. Got the fire going over here. Which way? Over there. Yeah. And as you can see, fall is coming rapidly. Leaves are turning, and I live a very rich fantasy life, as we've talked about. Hey, a couple things I want to just welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We've got a great show for you this week. Flavia Kennedy from Get Authentic Book Reviews is going to be on the show here in a minute. And as we've talked about, we're kind of migrating the show. I've just decided there's just too many great voices out there. If you want to learn how to be an author, want to learn how to publish your book, yeah, there's lots and lots and lots of great folks out there. And but I think that there's not enough sites that talk about books, that talk about music. What are you listening to? What are you reading? What do you like? What didn't you like? And the market in general. So we're going to start to do that, and we're doing that. Every week, we'll do a top 5 or a top 10, like from the New York Times or the USA Today list or the Drafted Digital bestsellers list. And same thing with music. We'll use your local radio station maybe, or the Billboard Hot 100, and mix it up with all different kinds of music and different kinds of books and stuff. So nonfiction and fiction. So a couple things. Let's see. I just want to talk about, I've got, as we talked about last week, 2 new books out. Atlantis, They're Still Here, and Mu, The Enigma. These are book 3 and 4 of the Leviathan Protocol series. That'll do it for the Leviathan Protocol series, all about underwater archaeology and adventure, and government oversight and intrigue. I'm a big dive fan, and we'll probably be doing some more water-related stuff. I'm a waterman. I love the water and also love the camp, as you can see. The creek is, let me just go back, look at the creek is low. We're going to have to talk to somebody about that. I want to also mention the fact that all of my books are on Apple audiobooks now. And they've done a marvelous, marvelous job using AI and artificial narration. They've really gotten the inflections down now, and you can get them done if you're an author. We're also going to be starting to talk more and more about audiobooks, and maybe we'll do a top 5 every week of the top 5 audiobooks. If you know somebody who's got a book out or has a book coming out, or maybe a CD that they've got coming out, please get in touch at the email address right there. I want to point out to you one other thing. We're always looking for good bargains. Check out this site. They've been around since 1994. Here's a graphic, and it's called Book Sale Finder. And you can click on your state, and it will have different bookstores and sales that are going on with regards to books. Michigan there, New York, California. Yeah. So that if you're looking for sales and stuff like that, check out Book Sale Finder. Just how it sounds, BOOKSALEFINDER, booksalefinder.com. And maybe you'll have a good time, or buy some good sales, or buy some good books. Anyway, the other thing I want to mention is Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble is a great bookseller. They've got locations all over the United States. They're really kind of B. Dalton, I don't think is anymore. Not where I live. It's basically BAM, Books a Million, and Barnes and Noble. And you can get some great deals. And Barnes and Noble has a fall sale coming up, so I wanted to let you know about that. It's basically 25% off. But I discovered on their site, they have a site page called Book Haul, HAUL, Book Haul, where you can buy basically, pretty much any book, 50% off. It's the Book Haul page. They post hundreds of titles at incredible prices for the guests to shop. You got to have an account. And yeah, they do regular roundups of amazing reads for the entire family. Love to share and can't wait to see you at the Book Haul 50% all off page. They also have a coupons and deals page, which is very handy, and you'll see that in the graphic there. Just some little things to help you with your pocketbook as we feed this addiction that we have. Next week, we're going to also be talking about book festivals. And that's pretty exciting. Our friends over at our Agentive Press, Agentive Media there, we had Mr. Neal on a couple weeks back. They've got a new AI. Hang on, the phone is just keep ringing. That's something else. I've toyed with the idea of doing call-ins so that you could call when we're live on the air, that you could call in with a question or with a comment. And maybe we'll try that. At any rate, so let me get you some other actionable intel about books and music. Hey, one other thing I wanted to mention before I forget, got two important dates coming up. On September 7th, it's National Buy a Book Day. And I would love it if you would come to my website, www.authortommcauliffe.com, and buy an ebook. I've got over 30 different ones, all kinds of different subjects, from thrillers to murder mysteries, some nonfiction books. I got a wonderful book about real estate. September 7th, National Buy a Book Day. That's this Saturday. That's a Sunday. So scope that out. Buy a book this Sunday, September 7th, National Buy a Book Day. And then looking forward, on the 18th of September, a Thursday, the 18th of September is National Read an Ebook Day. I want to say it was 2 years ago during COVID that ebooks outsold print books. It's exploding market. It's so easy. I mean, you can carry them on your phone. You can, yeah. So September 18th, mark that date down. National Read an Ebook Day. Well, let's take a look at music this week here at Uncle Tom's Cabin. I hope you're doing well. This is according to the Billboard Hot 100. And this is their variety chart, right? So it has all kinds of music, everything from hip hop to jazz to blues and to, yeah. Let's see, let's start drum roll. Coming in at number 10, How It's Done by the Rallies. Number 9, Just in Case by Morgan Wallen. And coming in at number 8 on the top 10 Billboard music chart, Daisies by Justin Bieber. He's still around, Justin Bieber. Daisies coming in at number 8. Number 7, Teddy Swims has a new CD out called Lose Control. Number 6, Raven Linnae, CD called Love Me Not. It peaked at number 5 and has fallen to number 6. Been on the chart for 21 days. Saja Boys has a new CD out called Soda Pop. And coming in at number 4, Your Idol by Danny Chung. Number 3, What I Want by Morgan, featuring, by Morgan Wallen, What I Want. Number 2, Ordinary by Alex Warren, kind of a jazz star. It's been on the charts for 28 weeks. And the new number 1 this week, come Golden by Hunter X. And those are the top 10 Billboard Hot 100 CDs for the week of, what is it, September the 8th. Yeah. So let's turn over to the New York Times top 10 books, bestsellers for early September. Coming in at number 10, Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. In his reimagining of Snow White, a healer is summoned by a king to use her unconventional methods to save his daughter. Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, coming in at number 10 on the New York Times bestseller list. Coming in at number 9, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarnos, the third in the Emptian series. Coming in at number 8, The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song. And number 7, My Friends by Frederick Bachman. A young woman looks into the story behind a painting that was made 25 years ago. And let's see. Number 5, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. In the summer of 1980, Joan Goodwin begins training with a group of candidates for the NASA Space Shuttle program. That looks kind of interesting. Reminds me of my book, Throttle Up, about Krista McAuliffe. And let's see, number 4, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. That looks interesting. And then number 3, The End of the World as We Know It by Christopher Golden. And actually, it's got an intro by Stephen King. The End of the World as We Know It, a short story anthology based on Stephen King's novel, The Stand, which is one of my favorite books and motion pictures. And coming in number 2 on the New York Times bestseller list, On the Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin. A dragon rider named Madeira Pendon is captured by vampires and placed inside the dangerous Bloodwing Academy. Ooh. And the number 1, drum roll, we have a tight budget. Quicksilver by Kaylee Hart. Ciaris is transported to a dangerous land of ice and snow where she must contend with a warrior who has suspect agendas. Quicksilver by Kaylee Hart, number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list for this week. And we'll be doing that every week, keep you up to date on new stuff coming out. We've got some musicians and bands that are going to come on and talk about their creative process and their new CDs. If you know of anybody who has a new book out or a new CD out and would like to come on the show, please send me an email. You can reach me at bookinfo@nextstopparadise.com. Email is below and in the show notes. Well, I am super stoked about having my next guest on the show. I've known her for about, a year and a half, maybe. Did some beta testing for her site, and her site has made a remarkable difference in my life. Her name is Flavia Kennedy, and she's from Brazil, and but's been here forever. And she's a former executive of Fortune 50, Fortune not 500, Fortune 50 companies, where she spearheaded marketing strategies that drove billions of dollars in revenue. And then she has become the go-to marketing consultant for Fortune 50 companies. But she's also an award-winning author. She's got several books out, but you'll see in the interview why we can't really talk so much about those. But throughout her writing journey, she has pinpointed an important challenge faced by most authors today: the difficulty in effectively attaining viable book reviews. It's the Achilles heel of most authors. And you really need to have, they say, a minimum of 10 to 15 book reviews before you should even consider doing any kind of advertising. So it is really the job one once your book comes out like that. So with the same professionalism, empathy, and relentless drive that has characterized her entire career, she founded getauthenticbookreviews.com at the end of July 2024, supporting all authors throughout their literary journeys in the quest to get more and more effective book reviews. I've been wanting to have her on for a while now. I'm a big fan and a long-time associate there, working with her wonderful site. We're going to talk all about it. Please welcome to the show, Flavia Kennedy.
Thank you, Tom, very much. That's a very nice welcome. I'm very happy to be here with you. I thought that this initiative is great, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're doing pretty well. This is show 13, I guess it is.
Wow.
And we're having, some real growth. We're running some ads and something like that. And we're migrating the show kind of from talking about how to write and how to be an author, which I'm a big fan of.
Yes,
and
that's fantastic.
But now to more like what it is about a reader, from a reader's perspective, about books and music. I'm a singer and a keyboard player as well. So we're going to talk about books and music, but more from the reader and listener side. Like, for example, let me just ask you right out the bat, when you're reading or when you're writing, because I know you're an author and I want to talk about that, do you listen to music?
No, in reality, I listen to music before I begin to write. And this brings me the ideas, bring everything. When I'm doing exercise, I have like always music. So this is like music for me, like it is the core of my life, right? It pumps me up and gives me energy. And but when I'm writing, silence. Then I begin to write.
Well, I want to talk all about getauthenticbookreviews.com, and we're going to have all the contact information right at the bottom of the screen. But before we even get there, let's talk a little bit about your author journey. I know you're an author with how many books out now?
I have a series right now, and which I cannot tell the name here on the channel because it's going to create some bias within my site. So I try to keep it separate, and I have a pen name. But that's interesting because when I decided to write, clearly you can see that my first language is not English. Although I lived here for many years right now almost 27 years. It's not my first language. I came from Brazil. And when I decided to write, I was very concerned because I said, well, how people is going to accept that?
So your first language would be Portuguese then, being from
Brazil. It is. And I was very concerned. And my husband, who is American, does the Kennedy name. And he said, Flavia, write it. Put all the ideas in place. And I have so many because my way to relax, very funny, Tom, my way to relax when I go to bed, for example, I don't count sheep or do meditation. I think about stories. All my life, I think about stories. So I have many stories to tell.
So do I. When people say I can't come up with any ideas, I just don't understand that.
Yes, I think and I have many ideas. And then I began to write. And of course, um, steps and problems here. And it's a journey, right? Mainly for someone that have never wrote a book before. It was a journey of learning and watching a lot of the Dale's videos, Julie's videos, Keith Wheeler videos. So I watched all of them to learn how to do it. And I did some courses.
Let me just ask you real quick. Would you consider yourself a pantster or a planner? Do you outline all your stuff before you write, or do you just sit down and let the inspiration take you and start writing?
I outline in my head and then I begin. But I have, when I begin, I know the beginning, the middle, and the end. Of course, I don't know all the details, but in my head, I know everything that what I want to say in that book. And I have a series. You asked, initially, I have a series of 3 books right now. 2 of them receive awards. The last one received like a read. I'm so excited. Readers' favorites, and so I'm very excited to see that. Yes, and the first one is growing in terms of numbers of stars and the quality of stars too that I'm receiving in terms of reviews.
Can you
So I'm very, very happy.
can you say what genre they're in?
No, it's secret. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I'll bet you it's romance.
It's
Good-looking
fantasy.
woman like you, got to have some romance in there.
Yes, there's
But
some
let
fantasy,
me
a
just
little
ask you
bit.
2 other quick questions. One is, are you going to have those converted into audiobooks?
Not yet. At this moment, as I was after the awards, I create some courage to really promote my books. At this moment, I was touching the waters and everything else. Now I'm doing so. I will convert to audiobooks. I'm gonna do like expand it because I only sell on Amazon right now. I'm gonna expand the reach. So I'm beginning to take a little bit more serious. I'm gonna go to a professional editor. So I'm doing all these kind of things that I should have done in the beginning. Now I used like editing tools, but I didn't use like a formal editor. So I'm gonna do all these things, and then I'm gonna go and relaunch them with big stars.
So when it came to inventing Get Authentic Book Reviews, it came from a place of necessity. You
Yeah.
saw the need for reviews, and tell us about, you created it in 2024, I think.
Yes. It's only 1 year right now. I just completed a year, a year and a month right now. And in reality, again, because I was concerned about if I was going to flop, if it was going to be a success, I was very concerned. And as you know, I've been in the corporate environment all my life. I still do corporate consulting in marketing. So I didn't want to mix a brand of author fantasy with a little bit of romance here and there, cozy romance. And I didn't want to mix with my brand of corporate executive. So what I did exactly, I didn't tell anybody. Nobody, only my husband and my sons knew that I was writing. And of course, nothing was happening. So I began to see, okay, there is a need here. I found some similar services. I tried. Some of them I didn't like it. And I said, you know what? I need something here. So I began to create get authentic book reviews.
Well, your reputation was very quick. Your integrity, your um, adherence to making sure that the site doesn't violate Amazon's very strict TOS, and just making sure that it's a fair playing field and a win-win. That's the other thing. I mean, the idea that you can still get feedback on your manuscript, maybe if it's lacking, and you can still get feedback like that. It's just very, very valuable. Well, tell us a little bit about, for those who are uninitiated, and we'll have the web address down at the bottom. Tell us how the system works.
Okay, so the system works basically is a place for authors. Only authors can participate. And within that concept of having authors only, we imagine that they want reviews and they want to give reviews. So it's a give and take in the same environment all confidential. Nobody knows who's giving, who is providing, because that's exactly the core of keeping like a review without any bias. That's why I'm not saying my name here on this.
I have no way of knowing who's going to review my book, and they don't know that I'm the reviewer of their book.
Yes. So in the platform is all confidential. And we also create the incentive behind this is points, right? So a person read the books, and depending on the number of pages, is going to receive 5 points to 11 points. And these points are given after the review is posted on Amazon. And with these points, the person can go and request a review, and the book is posted on the library for all the members to choose. So this is like a give and take in terms of reviews, and it works. The concept works because we have a timeline, we have people that are interested in doing this, and have like the core of the program is there. One thing that I want to make very sure is that we are the only one in the market that requires verified reviews. Even though sometimes Amazon don't provide, or the author has a problem to provide, we require verified reviews. And the reason behind is that verified reviews is the only way that, or the closest way to guarantee that the person read your book, because Amazon now is counting pages and time on page. Even if the person bought the book and read very fast, Amazon might say, I don't consider it is verified. So they are putting some rules in place. So verify is the closest way.
For people who don't know, define what you mean by verified reviews, or what Amazon means when it says a verified review. What does that mean?
It means that the person bought the book and read the book, right? That's the closest way to get a closest guarantee, right? Yes.
So they know whether or not you have read and how much you've read of the book.
Yes. Not only on the Kindle Unlimited, but also on ebooks nowadays. They are counting pages and time on the page. If you're reading on your computer, you're going to see on the left side, on the bottom, you're going to see the timer happening. So it's like, yes, they're seeing, and that's what I was saying, that even if you bought the book and you only went very fast, Amazon might consider this a spam and not give the verified badge. So, and the verified badge also increase for the author is an advantage, because it's increasing the ratings and the calculations, and also help to find your book easily, right? If you have a bunch of unverified, it doesn't find. And have one more point. If verified reviews is the only way that Amazon transfer reviews to the other countries. So if I'm reviewing like in Germany, for example, I have a review that's not verified, that review is only going to appear in Amazon Germany. It's not going to appear anywhere else. The same thing if you are in US, if you have an unverified review, only appear in US, not in the other countries. So verified reviews is the way to go.
Wow, that's I didn't even know that. That's very exciting. Let me just backtrack on one thing you said. Yeah, it does work.
Good to know.
For example, I've given 53 reviews, but I've gotten 56 reviews back. And I've been exposed to books that I never would have found searching on Amazon or whatever, been exposed to new authors, some of which have become friends, some of which are going to be on this show.
Oh, so, fantastic.
It's exciting. How much does it cost to join and become a member?
Now, nowadays is $5.90, right, from monthly membership, and is 40 to 80% cheaper than the market from my competitors.
Does it matter how many books you have out? Can you just have one?
You can have as many books, as many reviews, as much is like, just join, have many books you want, and you can request as many reviews. As long as you have points, you can request reviews.
And those reviews are posted on Amazon and Kindle, of course, but are they also posted elsewhere? Or can they?
No, it's not. And the reason for that And I remember your suggestion and several other members suggested as well to keep the confidentiality of the author that's posting. We request the author to put like a pen name on Amazon, and Amazon is the only site that allows it right now. Kobo, Apple, Barnes and Nobles, none of them allow you to adjust your pen name. So that's the reason we keep only on Amazon, because that is the rule from Amazon in the market, right? You want to keep the confidentiality and maintain your integrity of the platform.
But the author can use the review, like if they wanted to put it in a promotional piece or something like that, right?
The rules in the market, that's an interesting thing. When you read about the rules in the market, it's like a common sense to ask if you can use that review to put. I see many authors not doing that, simply taking the things and it's public, so I can use that. Now, normally you can use, if it's an editorial review, yes, you can do that. For individual reviews, the market said it cannot, but you see a lot of people using them. So I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this, both as an author and as a reader, and this is not going to come out right, but
That's right.
what constitutes a good review?
Is a good review is something that in my opinion, comes from the heart. It's not something that's like oh yes, it's a book that's nice and generic, right? You need to come from the heart. Did you like it? Why you like it? Are the characters related to you? Is the story interesting enough? Did it drag your attention? So all the key areas, like for us as authors, like is the characters, the plot, the pacing, right? All these kind of main things. But for the reader, it's really about how this resonate to them, right? Is this something that you couldn't stop reading? Is something that you're gonna recommend? Is something that, oh gosh, after I finished the book, I couldn't stop thinking about? You have to give your impression. So when the person convey these parameters on the review, this is something that constitutes a good review. Of course, as I mentioned, character, plot, pacing, all these kind of relevant points is important to have. But if this touches you, not a generic, that's what constitutes a good review.
Interesting. I always ask my guests this one question. If there was one thing you wish people knew about getauthenticbookreviews.com, what would it be?
I think that how we differentiate ourselves is about integrity. Is about trying to make sure that we have serious authors on the platform. Unfortunately, I have to send people out or leave the platform because they're not behaving nice. But integrity, for me, is the most important part, because then authors can guarantee that their book is read, their reviews is valid, that's something they're going to take serious, and the environment is something that's not going to put their books or their reputation at risk. Integrity for me is the most important.
Yes, well, that comes through loud and clear. I got to go and turn over the fire a little bit so it doesn't go out. So I'm only teasing. As you can see, I have a very rich fantasy life. What about, nobody likes to talk about this, but what happens if a reviewer doesn't like the book?
Yeah, but we as Authentic or anybody else can influence that, right? That's the reviewer opinion. However, at Authentic, we are also the only one in the market that has and provide the option for the reviewer to send a private feedback to the administration instead of posting in the book. And we pass that, instead of posting on Amazon, and we pass that to the author. Now, we allow, for example, not always the person's going to like or dislike. So sometimes the person said, yes, I prefer to provide a private feedback. Sometimes this doesn't happen and goes to Amazon. We don't touch the review. That's the most important part. We cannot touch, because then we're going to be influencing completely against Amazon.
Now, I know you carry, or there are all kinds of genres on the site. Do you find some genres more popular than others?
Fantasy is very popular, and self-help. These two are the very popular. However, as you said, I have like every single one, right? You see like the description on Amazon. If you go in the site, I have several categories and genres that are there. So we have everything.
Are there any genres that you will not allow on the site?
No, everything's allowed. I'm not a sheriff, right? If the yeah,
I like that.
if something is bad, the authors and the reviewers are gonna tell,
Hmm.
right? It's not gonna be me. The reviewers are gonna say, hey, this is bad, or this shouldn't be here. So of course, if we had a lot of complaints or something chaotic, we might consider, but we never, in 1 year, we never had a problem. No.
Wonderful. I noticed too that you have a lot of children's books.
Yes.
There are children's books. I'm not a big fan of what they call low content books. I never heard them called that myself, but yeah, diaries, coloring books, I guess, stuff like that. Um, can somebody who does puzzle books and stuff like that participate?
Not anymore. In reality, we are trying to focus on the standard books moving forward, because the puzzle and other ones you have to pay, right? Because I require verified reviews. You have to pay for the book that's only paper book, and then you have to receive the book that's sent to your house. So it's going to cost like $15. Very few people want to pay. So we are focusing on the standard books in the library in any genre. And one thing that we're doing is that we request people to put as lowest price as they can, right? So instead, if they put like 99 cents, even if it's for a week, they're requesting all the reviews, that's going to have a higher rotation. Some people try different prices and have lower rotation, but if you have like a low price book, it has a higher rotation.
So in other words, a book that's priced at 99 cents while it's up for review, going to do much better than one at $4.99.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
And these are, I want to be clear, these are ebooks only.
Yes, ebooks. And we have also authorized to have like a reading Kindle Unlimited. And however, Kindle has something that I'm going to even send a message to everybody that Kindle is about talking, reading there. And Amazon, in some cases, accept to be verified reviews, and other cases, for no reason and no understanding, doesn't. So if the author is not being able to provide a verified review, you're going to ask the author not to read on Kindle. But if it is, perfect, read on Kindle, and that's okay.
Do you ever envision the time when you might expand to also offer reviews for audiobooks?
If they come verified, yes. If not, because again, I am trying to make sure that the book is read and
So maybe a platform like Audible, which shows verified reviews, would be a possibility.
yes, if they showed, yes. But if not, no, not for now. No. And again, everything that I'm trying to do is to make sure that the book was read, because you don't want any review. You want someone that really read your book and say, hey, this is resonate. Oh no, it doesn't. Why? Right?
Yeah, sometimes I don't understand people. I really don't. You know, why would you go to the trouble of buying a book, of enrolling in Get Authentic Book Reviews, of becoming a member, and then not read the book? I
know.
It's insane. Anything that you want to tip my viewers about coming up? Any new features coming up, or what are your plans for the future?
In reality, I'm going to tell about two features that we have that we didn't talk about that I think that's relevant for them. Is that we have a rotating library. So every time that you enter on the site, you're going to be in a different position and see different books. And that's important because give the same chance to all the authors to be seen, not only the ones that are on the top and all like in the first page. So we have a rotating libraries that increase the chances to everybody to be seen. So that's something. And on top of that, we have a banner on the top of the library that the person can promote like an advertisement, right?
I saw
Can
that. I
promote,
saw that. Yeah.
and promote for a week. And honestly, it works. Again, have to be like a nice book, a nice description, a low price, but has been working fantastically. I am like booked until I think at the end of November right now.
I need to look at that. I need to do that myself.
I know, right?
All right.
and,
So
and
just
it,
so just to kind of wrap it up because we're running out of time here. If I'm an author and I want to really start to get some good reviews and stuff on Amazon and Kindle, what should I do?
go to Get Authentic Book Reviews, join us, $5.99, read books, and begin to ask for reviews. That simple. We have a human support. It's not a machine that you're going to talk. You're going to talk either with me personally or with Amy that worked for me. So
Very
like,
fast. She's very
yes,
fast and she's so wonderful.
yeah, no, she's great. And it's both of us like managing a micro business, really like personal to my heart. And so it's really like to join us and that's it. That's as simple. And discover many different books that sometimes you haven't even thought about that you're gonna go there and that feedback I receive from many authors that, oh wow, I haven't read this kind of things in a long time. How fun. And that's gonna be the thing. So yes, so join us. Very
Well,
simple to use, very simple to come. And we are going to be accepting to your news also different languages. So until now was only English, and we're going to be opening now in September for different language books. So something else to see as well.
wow. I'll bet you the Spanish language and maybe even Asian languages would do really, really well. But French,
Frank,
I can see Portuguese. Portugal was one of my favorite countries. I've never been to Brazil.
yeah, no, it's, it's,
How do
it's,
you
it's
say
a beautiful place.
how do you say thank you in Portuguese?
Obrigada.
Obrigada or obrigato?
Obrigada if I'm a woman, obrigado if he is a man. So you, in your case, obrigada.
We spent some time in Sintra. Is it Sintra, Portugal? And on
Um,
Algarve of Portugal, filming surfers.
oh, yes.
Big,
Oh,
huge, huge
nice.
waves, 30, 40 feet. Unbelievable.
Very nice. Very
Well,
nice.
Flavia Kennedy, thank you so much for coming by and telling us about Get Authentic book reviews. Do you have any parting thoughts?
No, just thank you very much for having me. This is something that I'm doing really to help authors. So thank you for providing that information to them. I appreciate your time and success for you. Continue with your fantastic books there, Tom.
Ditto, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
So that'll about do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I always forget to tell you that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tune in next week where we'll have another great guest and some more wonderful information about books and music. Till then, I'm author Tom McAuliffe. You make it a great day.